down that way. As you went up towards Chapel Hill and places like that, they got, in most places less than an inch, maybe between 1 and 2 in some places.
North Carolinians from the coast to the mountains are dealing with the snow right now. Governor Roy Cooper says travel is difficult and dangerous in some areas and expect power outages too.
Declaring a state of emergency for the impacted part of the states, and that allows us to deploy essential assets for storm response.
Blizzard warnings are up for North Carolina to Maine. Meteorologist Eric Fisher is there this morning.
Heaviest snowfall, the strongest winds we felt from Long Island up through New England.
Farmers have been taking steps to make sure the winter weather does not impact their crops and livestock. Johnston County Extension Director Brian Spivey says,
get any kind of ice or snowfall that begins to settle on the tops of those structures, you're dealing with that extra weight then, and you can begin to kind of potentially damage the structure.
The state of North Carolina is under an emergency right now because of road travel. There are some canceled flights. If you're flying toward the north particularly, you need to check with your carrier. You're listening to NCN News.
Do you want the latest insider news and information for your favorite college sports team? Subscribe now to the ACC Sports Journal magazines. Our ACC Sports Journal magazines are filled with extensive detail on each team for football, basketball, and recruiting. It's a must-buy for every fan of the Tar Heels, Blue Devils, Wolfpack, Demon Deacons, and the rest of the ACC. Subscribe now and save 40% off the cover price. That's a full year's subscription for just $24. Be sure to subscribe now to receive our 2018 ACC Basketball Recruiting Guide. As a subscriber, you'll get your copy before it hits the newsstands. Ordering is fast and easy too. Just go to accsports.com right now and click on the big yellow subscribe now button. Don't miss out on this offer. Go to accsports.com now and click on the subscribe now button.
After years of health warnings and regulations, one of the cornerstone companies of Big Tobacco says it's trying to quit the cigarette habit.
I'm Gary Nunn. The commercials went off the air years ago.
Come to Marlboro country.
Now, Philip Morris, maker of such brands as Marlboro, Chesterfield, and Parliament, has bought ads in newspapers in Britain vowing to build a smoke-free future. On its website, the company says it wants to help people stop smoking conventional cigarettes, placing them with alternatives like e-cigarettes and other tobacco products.
The City Council in North Carolina's capital has voted to equip its police officers with body cameras. Raleigh City Council voted to spend nearly $5 million over 3 years to equip more than 600 Raleigh police officers with cameras that will record arrests and interactions. The Republican majority in the Senate shrinks to just one vote now that Doug Jones is sworn in. Jones is the first Democrat to represent Alabama in 25 years. Roy Moore, the Republican candidate in that race, was accused of having inappropriate sexual contact with teenage girls. Reporter Donna Francavilla says support for Moore has not waned in his hometown of Gadsden.
I grew up with Roy Moore.
Deb Williamson and her family installed a bathroom in Roy Moore's home.
Never felt uncomfortable around him. I was with his brother Joey and sisters and all growing up. I loved him, really. I had a lot of fun with him.
Even though Doug Jones beat Roy Moore by 1.5 percentage points in the Alabama Senate race to replace Jeff Sessions. Here in Gadsden, in Roy Moore's hometown, Deb Williamson says,
it's just the way things happen.
Donna Francavilla for CBS News, Gadsden, Alabama.
A spate of road projects in a major North Carolina city is expected to wrap up this year. The Charlotte Observer reports that a 3-year, $647 million project to add toll lanes on Interstate 77 is expected to be completed in late.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB sales department today at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The sound of a monster storm moving up the East Coast. Wind, snow, and plummeting temperatures. In Ocean City, Maryland, transportation spokesman Charlie Gishler is asking folks to just stay home if they can.
The conditions are going to be very, very low visibility, high winds, blowing snow sideways, snow squalls. So you're dealing with a lot of accumulation on some of the untreated roadways.
ABC Stephanie Ramos is in Washington.
Here in the D.C. area, some schools are closed, others are opening up later, but the D.C. metro area got the bulk of the snow overnight. The National Weather Service does have blizzard warnings in place, so from Virginia all the way up to Maine.
ABC's Aaron Katersky is in New York.
For tens of millions of Americans from Florida to Maine, this is a snow day. There are blizzard warnings up and down the eastern seaboard. Schools are closed. Flight delays and cancellations pile up at airports. Train service slows. At the height of the storm, snowfall rates could be 3 inches an hour, and the plows are out in front of me.
Wind chills, possible 40 below in New England, possibly 10 below along the I-95 corridor from Washington through Boston. One-time White House strategist Steve Bannon saying on Sirius he's still behind his former boss.
The President of the United States is a great man. You know I support him day in and day out.
That even as Bannon is quoted in a new book with some very disparaging comments about President Trump's family, including that Donald Trump Jr.'s meeting with a Russian lawyer was treasonous. The president's lawyers have sent a cease and desist letter demanding that Bannon stop talking.
It's possible that the relationship gets patched up. Talking to one former White House aide who says they could be back on the same page before long. But the bottom line is that Steve Bannon has left Donald Trump and his presidency some uncomfortable baggage around the Russia investigation and around the very functioning of the presidency.
ABC News political director Rick Klein. Minor earthquake in the Berkeley, California area, 4.4 magnitude. No reports of damage or injury. You're listening to ABC News.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Feel like you're on a never-ending treadmill, staying in one place and never getting ahead with those minimum payments? Do you feel like there is no way out? Don't let the credit card companies bully you anymore. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. The program at Total Financial Freedom can help you get debt-free in months instead of decades. Get off the debt treadmill and stop the harassment. Get free of credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and medical bills. Call now at 866-844-7344 for free information. For about 10 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, too. Get off the endless cycle without having to declare bankruptcy. You'll have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Call Total Financial now at 866-844-7344. That's 866-844-7344.
President Trump disbanding his voter fraud commission, the one set up to investigate, he said, without evidence, voter fraud that cost him the popular vote in the election. More than a dozen states had refused to comply with the commission's demands for personal voter data. A flaw in the chip that does the heavy lifting in nearly all of the world's computers seems it may allow hackers to access pretty much everything about you.
A design feature in Central Processing Unit, or CPU chips, that has allowed computers to work faster has also left them vulnerable to hacking. Researchers have identified 2 individual vulnerabilities. One flaw would allow hackers to gain access to information like passwords from people with cloud accounts. The other could allow hackers to steal the entire memory contents of not just computers, but also mobile devices and servers. A patch to fix the first problem has been released. To fix the other problem could take a complete redesign of the processors. Dave Packer, ABC News.
TMZ recently caught up with Paul Sorvino, the actor whose daughter Mira Sorvino was allegedly blackballed by Harvey Weinstein after she rejected his unwanted sexual advances. At first, Sorvino says he hopes Weinstein goes to jail. Then he says if he doesn't go to jail, he'll have to meet me and I will kill that. Well, you can fill in the blank yourself. Sorvino says he had no idea what Weinstein did, and if he had, Weinstein would be in a wheelchair. His daughter responded on Twitter saying, "My love for my father has only continued to grow at this moment." This is ABC News.
With the stock market at all-time highs, cash in your profits now and invest in an asset that can potentially pay for up to 20 or more years. That's the sound of a producing oil well and the sound of a smart investment. If you're an SEC-defined accredited investor, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects. Call now to learn how you can potentially achieve 20 or more years of income and deduct 100% of every dollar invested against all forms of income. Call 1-800-803-8511. That's 1-800-803-8511. Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary.
Have you noticed what's going on at Oakland Feed and Seed? Cheapest price in town on propane refills. 20-pound cylinder, $11.99. Forklift cylinder, $17.99. And the 100-pound cylinder is $55.99. Whole corn, $6.99 for the 50-pound bag. 10-10-10 fertilizer, $9.50 for the 50-pound bag. 17-17-17, just $12.50 for the 50-pound bag. Check with Oakland Feed and Seed for all prices. You'll find them the cheapest around. It's a generational thing. Your dad and your dad's dad shopped at Oakland Feed and Seed. Oakland Road, Spindale, locally owned and operated.
Some of us had some snow. Now that snow is moving out and the cold air, well, it's here to stay for quite some time. We'll have plenty of sunshine today. It's a breezy day with high temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s. The wind chill index likely staying in the teens today. Overnight tonight, clear skies and frigid. Low temperatures down into the lower teens with the wind chill index near zero. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Well, thanks very much, Amy. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. This is the fourth day of the new year. 6 minutes after 7 and 22 degrees. Warming up to about 30, but that wind chill value is going to be as low as 5. Yeah, that's 5. 5. Yeah, 5. Wind gusting about 22 miles per hour today. Tonight, we're going to be a low around 11. Wind chill value as low as 4 tonight, with wind gusting to 17 miles per hour. And the weather is going to continue being pretty much the same forecast. If you don't like our weather, hang around. It's probably not going to change the next few days. On Sunday night, it does get a little bit iffy. Mostly cloudy Sunday night with a chance of freezing rain. Lows around 27. Monday morning, mostly cloudy with a chance of freezing rain. Highs around 45. With that wind chill value is 20, low is 27. So we got to get through these few days, and then looks like by the middle of the week it may start warming up a little bit. We hope indeed that is the case. But again, right now it is 22 degrees, and today we're being kind to Mickey Morgan. Mickey works at Camp Electric, and he's 38, turned 38 yesterday, lives in Rutherfordton, so we want to wish Mickey Morgan a happy, happy birthday. Now I have these death announcements this morning. Mr. Bobby Dean Randall, 76 of Ellenboro, died Tuesday. Arrangements are incomplete and will be announced by Washburn and Dorsey Funeral Home and Cremation Service. Mr. Bobby Dean Randall. Guy Cochran, age 57 of Rutherfordton, died Saturday at his home. The family will receive friends from 1 until 2 o'clock today at McMahon's Funeral Home. The funeral service will be at McMahon's Chapel at 2 o'clock today. Burial will be at Eternal Hills Memorial Park. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Service is in charge of the arrangement for Guy Cochran. Stephen Michael Hutchins, age 39 of Rutherfordton, passed away December 28th at Spartanburg Regional Hospital. A memorial service will be held at 2 o'clock today at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Mount Pleasant Church Road, Forest City, with the receiving of friends following the service. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Stephen Michael Hutchins. Mr. Lonnie Dale Horton, age 46 of Green Creek, North Carolina, passed away unexpectedly on December 29th. The family will receive friends today from 1 until 2 o'clock at Lake Lure Baptist Church, US 6474A Highway in Lake Lure, with the memorial service at 2 p.m. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Lonnie Dale Horton. Crow's Mortuary is assisting that. Mr. Glenn Tibb McCurry, 89 of Golden Valley, died Tuesday at the Laurels of Green Tree Ridge in Asheville. The funeral will be conducted at 3 o'clock Friday at Fairview Baptist Church. Burial will follow in the Golden Valley United Methodist Church Cemetery with military rites provided by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. The visitation will be from 1 until 2:45 Friday at the church prior to the service. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangements for Mr. Glenn Tibb McCurry. Mr. James Alvin Reese, 57 of Rutherfordton, died Monday at Carolina's Medical Center of Charlotte. A graveside service will be conducted at 11 o'clock Friday at Pleasant Grove Baptist Church Cemetery, Pleasant Grove Road, Rutherfordton. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangements for Mr. James Alvin Reese of Rutherfordton. Catherine McGinnis Cooper, age 82, died January the 2nd at White Oak Manor, Rutherfordton, where she was a resident. Funeral service will be held 3 p.m. Thursday in the Paget and King Chapel. Burial will follow in the Liberty Baptist Church Cemetery. Family will receive friends from 1 until 2:45 Thursday prior to the service. Pageant King Mortuary and Crematory is serving the family of Catherine McGinnis Cooper.
Looked at who all happen to have socialized medicine. The study measured equity, access, and healthcare outcomes. We spend more than Australia, Canada, France, Germany, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, and the Brits. But we get the worst results. The New York Times weighs in with this. Many Americans are sicker than their peers in other rich countries, lacking access to needed medical care. In fact, the Times says our system is worse than Rwanda's. Liberals used to say American health care stinks compared to Cuba's. Now, after 7 years of Obamacare, we're worse than Rwanda? Now, think about it. Obamacare implemented the exact policies these liberals wanted. Healthcare costs skyrocketed. It killed millions of jobs. Americans lost their plans. They lost their doctors and some of their freedoms. And yet, the liberal Democrats who foisted this on us are demanding that it stay in place because Obama's legacy is so important to them, more than your health care is. But if you believe these same lefties, what once was the greatest healthcare system in the world is now in shambles, and I'll tell you the reason. It's Obamacare, and they inadvertently admit it. And I agree, Obamacare has brought nothing but misery. So let's agree it's time to get rid of it once and for all, or just let it fail and see what happens. Say, when it comes to identity theft, you have a choice, folks. You can rely on monitoring your credit and checking your bank statements, or you can get LifeLock to see more. LifeLock is able to see things you might not be able to see, like someone getting an online payday loan in your name. LifeLock uses proprietary technology to detect and alert you to a wide range of threats. And if you have a problem, one of LifeLock's specialists will work with you to fix it. Now, of course, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But with LifeLock, you'll have identity theft protection that allows you to see more identity threats than you may otherwise miss. Memberships start $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. And you can get a 10% discount by using promo code RUSH. Just call 800-440-4833 or go to lifelock.com and use the promo code RUSH. That's RUSH. 10% off. LifeLock 800-440-4833.
You know, when you need a plumber, you want someone with a reputation of getting right out to you and getting the job done for you the right way. That'll be Umstead Plumbing. Since 1973, the Umstead family has been serving homeowners and builders with the best of service. From unclogging a drain to replacing fixtures and appliances to remodeling jobs, their top quality work, fair prices, and punctual service has made them the area's leading plumbing firm. Eric and Chad are continuing that family tradition, and they'd like to serve you. Call 245-7302. Experience plus equipment equals excellence. Umstead Plumbing at 245-7302.
Today's story is about a man who personified persistence. His name was Gale Borden. Born in 1801, he and his family went to Texas during its fight for independence from Mexico. Gale founded a newspaper called the Telegraph and Texas Register. It was his paper that coined the phrase, "Remember the Alamo." Mexican General Santa Anna burned Gale's newspaper and threw the press into the river. But Gale's real love was inventing. He invented a locomotive bathhouse so the women of Galveston could have freshwater baths while at the beach. It was a failure. He also invented an amphibious Conestoga wagon. It sank on its maiden voyage. During a yellow fever epidemic, Borden's wife and 2 children died. He tried to come up with a cooling unit, hoping it would control yellow fever. It failed. In 1849, Gale concocted a meat product that wouldn't spoil called a meat biscuit. It didn't work either. On a voyage home from England, Gale witnessed the death of 4 children from drinking contaminated milk. He worked for 2 years to come up with a milk product that wouldn't spoil. It took 3 more years to get it patented. Then the Civil War broke out. The Union Army bought 25,000 quarts of his product per month. Shortly afterward, he was producing that much every day. Later, Gail Borden changed the name of his product to Eagle Brand Condensed Milk. On January 11, 1874, at the age of 72, Gail Borden died. He had written his own epitaph. It reads, "I tried and failed, I tried again and succeeded." You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
It's a great philosophy to live by. Keep on trying until you make it. 15 minutes after 7 today, we're being kind to Mickey Morgan. He works at Camp Electric. He had a birthday yesterday. We're being kind to him today. Now at 22 degrees, let's go to the Sheriff of Rutherford County, Sheriff Chris Francis, for a report. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jim. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Shivering with the boots, but I'm okay.
Well, I'm looking forward to the high temperatures in the low 50s next week. I understand will be a heat wave.
That should be nice.
It will be.
Tell us what's been going on in your department.
Jim, in the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office responded to 158 calls for service. There have been 13 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 180. Among those arrests, Christine Elizabeth Sis, 30-year-old white female of Umbra, was charged with failure to appear and received a $500 secure bond. Arias Demetrius Lamprolas, 32-year-old white male, was charged with trafficking, looks like also maintained a dwelling place for controlled substances and drug paraphernalia, and received a $15,000 secure bond. William Andrew Lynch, 49-year-old white male of Rupton, was charged with assault on a female in probation violation, received a $5,000 bond for the probation violation, and see a district court judge for the assault on a female. Jason Harold Miller, 18-year-old white male of Spindale, was charged with larceny by a employee, received a written promise to appear. Estella Maria Elias, 34-year-old white female of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear and received a $2,000 secure bond. Joseph Philip Duncan, 28-year-old white male of Mooresboro, was charged with possession of stolen property and received a $1,000 secure bond. Victoria Alexis Lynch, 16-year-old white female of Rufton, was charged with interfering with the electronic monitor, received a $5,000 secure bond. Among the incidents, we had a breaking and entering vehicle in larceny on Boston Sunshine Highway. It was a gray clutch purse. It did have $40 worth of gift cards, a driver's license, credit card, and I believe a few dollars in U.S. currency that were taken in that incident. We also had a misdemeanor larceny on Bob Harden Road in Rufton. Someone has taken the victim's mail, including a CD and a baby monitor that received in packages through the mail. And Jim, that's what we had to report today.
Sure, I do appreciate the report, and you be safe out there and stay warm, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, and bye-bye.
See you, bye-bye. Sheriff's Department also is reporting this morning that they're asking for help in finding a missing person. Rutherford County Sheriff's Office is requesting the public's assistance in locating Robert Leo Biggs, known to friends and family as Bob and Bobby. He's been missing since December 27th. Biggs was last seen on Main Street in Chimney Rock Village. He was driving a burgundy 2000 Subaru Outback wagon. Biggs is 50-year-old white male, 5'8". He has short gray hair and blue eyes. He was last seen wearing blue jeans, a burgundy sweatshirt, and a baseball cap. Biggs also has a tattoo on his left leg of a dive helmet. Over the last year, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has followed up on several leads and organized searches in the hope of determining the whereabouts of Biggs. Despite these efforts, investigators have not been able to locate Robert Leo Biggs. Been missing since December 27th, 2016. Mr. Biggs is a United States Navy veteran, skilled outdoorsman, son, and father. The investigation regarding his disappearance remains active with the hope of reuniting with his family. Anyone with any information is asked to contact Detective Adrian Wallace at 828-287-6069. Again, that's 287-6069. Robert Leo Biggs, or Bobby. The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304. 19 minutes after 7 o'clock, we're going next to our next phone call to find out what's been happening over at 911 Communications Center. And Carrie's on the phone to give us that report. Good morning, Carrie.
Hey, how are you?
Good. What's on the report?
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County Communications 911 Center has processed 407 911 and administrative calls. EMS had 50, rescue had 23. Under law enforcement, 158 under the sheriff's office, 62 for our city, 26 Rutherfordton, 6 Lake Lure, 38 Spindale. Under fire calls, Cherry Mountain responded to a structure fire. Ellenboro and Far City responded to motor vehicle accidents. Lake Lure and Chimney Rock to brush fire. STO to a chimney fire assisted by Sandy Mush and Rutherfordton, and that was all we had.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye. Well, if you've ever seen the Target flooring, then you can understand why more and more folks are latching onto it. Target flooring is beautiful and it's resilient, lasts a long, long time, and keeps its beauty for a long, long time. Southern Carpet is the place for it. If you think you might be interested in this Target flooring, right now is a good time to find out more about it and other flooring products they have at Southern Carpet. But I want you to take a look at this Target flooring. You'll find it. And you'll find it may be the perfect floor to fit your home, your lifestyle, your budget. If you got a lot of traffic in and out of your house, in and out of your kitchen, or wherever you want to put it down, you'll find that it's advantageous to have something down like Target flooring. Only at Southern Carpet, 1512 West Main Street. Check it out or visit them on the web at southerncarpet.net. Ruby Taylor is up next with the report from Danieltown area, SDO Fire District. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report, Ruby?
Well, the fire department had one call, and that was to a chimney fire. They were assisted by Sandy Mush and Royalton. And on my birthday calendar today, I've got Terry Jarley and Diane Smith having birthdays today, and hope they have a nice day. Signs are in the heart today and going to the bowels tomorrow. Jim, that's all I've got.
Ruby, I appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Your car only needs one place to prepare for the cooler months ahead. RS Speedy Lube, Railroad Avenue, Ruth. RS Express Inspection Station can get you back on the road and keep you legal. RS Speedy Lube Station has 2 lanes to get you in and out in no time. They carry wiper blades and will rotate your tires. Complete car care altogether, including transmission flush and car wash. Count on Chris and his team to take care of all your car needs. Make it your first stop. RS Speedy Lube Service Center, Railroad Avenue in Ruth.
Well, you know, our friends over at Lifestyle Wellness and Spa is the largest and longest standing gym in Rutherford County, and they're celebrating their 30-year anniversary. Can you believe it? 30-year anniversary. And you can join this popular facility right now for 30 cents. Yeah, 30 cents. 3 membership options, no hassle cancellations, no hidden fees, and a 30-year reputation behind the success. Join today for 30 cents and have access to group fitness classes, 72-foot pool, jacuzzi and spa, 2 cardio rooms, racquetball courts, women-only area, spa and massage, and the latest quality equipment available. Come celebrate the 30-year anniversary with Meek and his team and join for 30 cents at Lifestyle Wellness and Spa, 247 Oak Street Extension, Forest City. Family owned since 1988. Now Steve is up next. He's up in the Rumbling Ball area with our cool morning report. Steve, good morning.
Good morning, Jim. It's a very chilly morning here at 25 degrees. And we're sitting here just enjoying the benefits of the thermal belt.
Yes.
Taking advantage of all those things the thermal belt has to offer.
I was thinking about that this morning. All those places south and east of us, and here we are right here in the heart of the thermal belt.
I wonder if that means we're supposed to wear thermal underwear.
It would be advisable, I'll tell you, if you've got it.
That's what that means. Oh boy, it's not Florida anymore for me. We're just hanging out by the heater over here with the winds coming through the cracks of this 40-year-old building here. So we're just just getting by.
Do you wish you were back down in Florida?
Not really. I just want to complain a little bit this morning.
And They may be,
hey, we're making it okay.
They may be getting some of this cold weather too.
Oh, they are. I understand. I talked to my brother who lives in Jacksonville, and they seen a little bit of snow actually.
Isn't that strange?
In it though.
Charleston's getting it. Savannah's getting it.
Oh yeah, and I've seen areas on the upper. I think I believe it was the upper part of the state on the coastline that they had like somewhere upwards of 10 inches of snow. I mean, some crazy numbers.
It is unbelievable.
Oh well, at least we can traverse around here. So
that's right.
They're doing a breakfast here for the employees who have been here 5 years and longer. Just recognizing some of us this morning. So we'll be enjoying those benefits, getting a good, hot, warm breakfast. Maybe that's why I'm in a good mood.
There you go.
So anyway, they're going to honor some of us who have been here through the years. We have one employee, Gary Wilson, who won't be here today, but he's been here 40-plus years. He started this place.
I was going to say, he built that place, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did. He actually did. In the very beginning, before he started being working security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so
he's not able to attend today?
What's that? I'm sorry?
He's not going to be able to be there for the honor?
No, he's not going to be able to be here today. He's somewhere else. So we'll tell him about it.
Yeah. I'm sure he has. I'm sure he has received many accolades over the years.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's excellent resource to tap into for information and about the history of this place.
Oh yeah.
He can tell you a lot of different things. It's interesting, very interesting how this place developed. But yeah, he won't be here today, so we'll fill in for him. I'll take his helping of victuals. I'm thinking of him.
There you go. You're an old friend, I tell you.
I try to help out there. So it's been pretty quiet over the last 24 hours. I'm surprised with the breezes, but we'll probably find some large limbs or whatever scattered on the roads and try to get those taken care of.
Are the edges of the lake frozen over?
They are. I understand. I heard some stories that some people that were there at the plunge, that some of the folks cut themselves on the ice.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Oh.
Yeah. I'm glad I stayed where it's warm.
Isn't that the truth?
Listen, you have a great day up there. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.
Thank
see
you.
you.
Bye-bye. That's Steve up at Rumley Ball this morning. During the month of December 2017, the Polk County Sheriff's Office answered 638 calls for service. There were 14 felony arrests in Polk County, 26 misdemeanor arrests, and 26 citations issued. Officers completed 1,011 house checks, 3,421 business checks, 1,693 church checks, assisted the public 9 times, served 66 civil papers, 48 criminal papers, and patrolled 24,744 miles, and a total of 77 inmates locked in the slammer, including 58 males and 19 females. I thought that was interesting. They checked 1,693 church checks in Polk County. That's a lot of churches, isn't it? Wow. Good job, guys. 28 past 7 o'clock. We're going to the phones next, right after this.
One of the hottest things going on in automobile world today is the fuel-efficient Ford Escape from Sisk Family Ford. You get more value for your money with the Ford Escape, and you'll appreciate the comfort and the value in this remarkable automobile. Try one on for comfort today at Sisk Family Ford, and whenever you need top-of-the-line service on any automobile you own, be sure to bring it to the experts at Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
Your name is Bob Hodge over the Hudlow Fire District area. Bob, good morning.
Well, good cold morning up here this morning.
Well, this is getting to be repetitious. I tell you, I'm ready for a change, aren't you?
Yeah, it's getting to be a habit, ain't it? Oh, but what about the East Coast? Some of them hadn't had any in, 89, I believe it is there.
I believe that's right.
Well, that's something for them. I'd hate to be there trying to drive where they're at.
It's the Battle of Georgia.
They're running everywhere.
They won't know what to do with that driving, will they?
No, they want to get out and play in it, but we found that out years ago, the hard way, but not doing that, yeah. So, we're up here.
The Weather Service said up to approximately an inch of snow could fall as far south as Tallahassee, Florida. 3 to 5 inches is possible in eastern North Carolina.
Some places, northern Florida, they're getting snow there. That's really something for them.
But there's some of those teenage young people don't know what that is. They've never seen snow before.
Yeah, some of them 15, 16 years old had never saw any snow before. Yeah. So that's something for them. Oh. But thank goodness it's staying down there. We're getting the cold weather, but we ain't got that snow and ice there. So that's one good part about it. But I'm looking, that's ice pulling up in that way. It's having some snow flurries this morning, but looks like we're going to be okay today, except the cold weather there and everything. But maybe it'll warm up here before too long and get back up to normal temperature anyway.
I believe it's coming next week.
Well, when we get up to normal, that's going to be warm to what we have, ain't it?
Yeah, we want to interact.
Yeah. Well, Jim, up here with the fire department, it's been pretty quiet. We had some medical call and then a fire alarm call over here to rest home, but it wasn't nothing to that. And that's about it with the fire department. Want to say happy birthday to Patty Looky-Doo this morning. And other than that, things are going good up here, Jim, and I hope you have a good day. And just stay warm over there, and I'll be talking to you in the morning.
Thanks, Bob. I look forward to it. You have a great day, too, and be safe.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bob Hodge reporting from the Hudlow Fire District this morning.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style of furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697. 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697. Those of you who may have students at Trinity Christian School, perhaps you've received this message already, but Trinity Christian School, the middle school and the high school students, there are no classes today or Friday, but preschool and K-5 are on the regular schedule. Again, that's middle school and high school students. At Trinity, there will be no classes today or tomorrow, but the preschool and K-5 will be on regular schedule. Don't know the reasons, but that's the word they sent to us, and we're passing it on to you. So you'll be informed. It's 7:34 now. Here is the Cherry Mountain Fire District reporter, Sue Price.
Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Hope you are.
Doing great, thanks.
Well, good. It's a cold morning over here again. I've got 22. That's not quite as bad as it has been, but it's bad enough.
Oh, yeah.
Can't tell the difference when you get out there. It's so cold and that wind's blowing, so it's going to be that much colder. But it's wintertime, and we're going to enjoy what we can of it.
You know what really feels good is to be outside, get out of a car that's rushing from business to business, and you're really cold, and you go inside, and it's nice and warm and toasty. That really feels good.
I know. Well, let's see. The fire department had a structure fire. She said, "No, I don't know what that was." We were away for all afternoon. The whole family, those that could get away from work, met up at Waynesville at the courthouse, and we had the final step in the adoption process. Ron and Sherry's sister Michelle and her husband have had 3 foster children, and they had been working on the adoption. Yesterday was the final leg of that, so they're officially extrams now.
Well, good.
Yes,
Congratulations.
it was a happy day. Just a little bit sad, too, because of Tib McCurry's death, but we're so glad to have that finalized. They're such sweet children, and they're not little. They're grown, almost grown children. The youngest one's just turned 12, so we're just thrilled to death of that. Everybody is. The whole family enjoyed going up and being with Michelle and Joel for that. Let's see. I have no birthdays on my church calendar today or on my personal calendar. Fairview's got anniversary for John and Kathy Smith. So I hope they'll have a good day. And nothing on First Broads today, so not too many celebrating, but we hope those that are having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day today. In my announcements, there will be a fundraiser for Benny and Ann Tony to help with medical bills, and that's a breakfast and indoor yard sale. Breakfast is for donations only, and the fundraiser will be at Golden Valley Missionary Methodist Church, Saturday, January 20th, from 7 to 11, weather permitting. So come on out and enjoy a good breakfast. And those folks up there always put on a really good breakfast and pick you up some treasures and help this family out. And so far, Jim, that's the only announcement I've had come in. It's just quiet and calm over here, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
Thanks, Sue. You have a great day as well, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Are you looking for an internal medicine physician in Rutherford County who has open appointments right now? The great news is that Chase Family Care is welcoming new patients today, led by Dr. Russell Stewart and Greg Goodman. Chase Family Care can work with you to manage chronic disease, to treat illnesses, or to assist in developing a health and wellness plan that meets your needs. They're conveniently located at 1269 Highway 221A near Forest City and Caroline. Trust Chase Family Care to give you personal attention with a small-town friendly touch. Call 828-657-5371 for an appointment.
Health insurance is complicated, and with healthcare reform on the way, it's not getting any simpler. If you've got questions, we've got agents. Your local Farm Bureau insurance agent can walk you through the changes and offer you the right healthcare plan with the right benefits for you. Healthcare may be changing, but our superior service isn't. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Well, at 7:38, we're heading toward Union Mills, and we'll get that Kelly report from an unhappy Brenda Kelly this morning.
I know. I was switching back and forth to that game last night, and they were behind 5 or 6 points, and I'd say, well, I ain't watching that. And then I'd watch a little bit of my other program. I'd switch it back, and they're still behind. Then it got down to they were just 1 point behind, but they didn't get it. But that's not what I call a whooping. That's what I call a squeaker. The other team just barely squeaked by.
Yeah, they did. 81-80 was the score. Florida State
I
over
know
UNC.
it. But Joel Berry finally got on fire, but it just weren't enough.
Yeah. Well,
but things like that happen.
Sure it does. Sure it does. They'll do better Saturday.
Oh, yeah, I guarantee you Roy chew their ears off and get them fired up.
Yeah.
You know he will.
He has a way of doing that, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. But we hope everybody's having a good day today. This is a tremendous cold Thursday, and we're going to have cold weather all the way through to when? Monday, Tuesday?
It'll start warming up probably about Wednesday. Looks like we have a high Wednesday of 49, which is not really warm, but it's sure better than 18.
And we've been in this for, what, over a week now?
We have, yeah.
I don't like it this cold.
Well, you know what? It may kill off all these old insects we've been pestered with during the summer months. Maybe it'd kill them off.
Well, I hope it kills them off, but I feel like we've done a flip-flop and we're where Alaska should be.
but we don't have Sarah Palin down here, though.
Well, no, I don't guess so. But maybe somebody could pretend to be Sarah Palin.
Yeah, that's right.
But let's see, I'm the cold place. I've got 12 degrees. I just come in when we first spoke. I was on the front porch. I've got 12 degrees on the front porch. I checked it again. And birthdays today, we've got Gail Wilson and Janelle Camp. And I don't have any on Round Hill, so we hope these people have a great old big day on their special day. And in ways of announcements, at the Union Mills Learning Center on Hudlow Road, Friday, January the 5th at 7 p.m., Carolina Crossroads. Meal beginning at 6 p.m., and that's $5. And they're going to have a variety of soup with sandwich, dessert, and drink. And soup's a good thing to have when it's as cold as it is outside. The music begins at 7 p.m., and they have a tip jar available for the band. As far as I know, that's everything that's going on up here. I don't know of anything else. So.
All righty.
Short, sweet, and quiet. Just hope everybody's staying warm and being careful.
I hope so, too. Keep your eye on things for us up there, and we'll stay in touch with you, and we'll see you back here bright and early tomorrow morning.
Okay, catch you later.
Bye, Brenda.
Okay.
7:41 here this morning, and we are at still. Let me look over my shoulder. Peter, the meter reader, says it's 19 degrees. 19 degrees here at WCAB. It's jumped back from 22 down to 19 again, so it'll start climbing back up. Our expectations around 30 today, with the wind chill value at about 5.
Stop into Save-A-Lot Grocery and save big money every day. Choose from a variety of name brand merchandise at incredible low prices. Save big on fresh meats, vegetables, pastries, frozen foods, deli items, and so much more. They are located in the White Oaks Plaza in Spindale. Hours are Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. and Sunday, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. That's Save-A-Lot Grocery Store in the White Oaks Plaza in Spindale.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC. We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for a city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for a city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
Good morning, Luther Gilligan.
Good morning to you, too. We're having a nice day down here, staying cool.
You bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this morning?
Yeah, raring to go.
All right. Well, I like to hear.
Get out of the gas station, sit there and drink coffee.
Well, that's good folks you celebrate there with. Good folks hang around.
Wait on it, warm up. Gets up to about 70 degrees, we go to work.
Uh-oh.
Well, be a while before we get started on it.
I believe you have a few days off from work.
Have drank a lot of coffee, wouldn't it?
Well, it's always fun to sit around a bunch of buddies and talk about how cold it is and the nation's economy and things like that. Y'all can solve some world's problems while you're drinking coffee.
Yeah, be a lot of hot air, warm things up. But it's cool down. Back when I seen a little time while ago, I had about 19 degrees. But it's warmer than it was yesterday. It was 10 degrees yesterday. So, hey, things are picking up. But we'll get warm up one day, and we'll say, boy, sure we should cool off. Right now, I'm saying, sure we should warm up. But it's cold. But it's that's going on down here. Well, it's the fire department. They went out this morning. That one actually yesterday, then 5 o'clock this morning, went down and Sandy Mush puts out on possible structure fire, but it wasn't fire. They power line down. They sent everybody back home except for, I think, Sandy Mush stayed there. And this year, when we had birthday day, Rita Hallfield, she's having a birthday day, and Kay Brooks is having one, and Rick Tracy Johnson, they're having a wedding anniversary, also Ben Tracy Patrick's everyone. So hope they all have a great day and enjoy their day. And Jim, like I said, nothing else happening there. So we trying to stay warm. You have a good day up there, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, keep us posted, and we'll be back in touch.
All right, take care.
Bye. That's the Ellenboro reporter, Luther Gilligan, reporting on things in the fire department and district around. 7:45. Now, if you want to get something really nice and warm, head toward Washburn Store. Get some of those warm overalls. They're made in the good old U.S. of A. And they got a size to fit about everybody, from the little tykes to the big tykes. Used to have I think they still have a big pair of overalls hanging up there. You sort of see how big they really make them. And they're made in the good old U.S. of A. And they got a lot of other things. They got some great cookware large cookware that people love to get. They got plenty of those selections, plus just about anything you're looking for, from a little screw to a nail to a hammer, and all those other things that happens that you look for. That you can't find any place else but Washburn Store. Between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway. Well, this may be the year you want to do something about that hearing as well. You promised yourself that indeed this year you would not go through another year where you can't be a part of the conversation, or you know somebody in your family that's sort of isolating themselves because of lack of hearing. You know, that could be early stages of dementia. When somebody isolates themselves, they can't be a part, they can't hear what's going on, closes in, and people become early stages of dementia. Don't let that happen, because there's a place you can go to get something done. It's real convenient for you. That's the Miracle Ear office in Forest City, right next door to Southern Carpet, the same building. And Lisa Terry's a hearing specialist, and boy, she's helped a lot of your friends, a lot of my friends already, and she'd be glad to answer your questions at all. With no obligation whatsoever. Just come on in and say, I'd like to have that free hearing test, or give her a call, set up an appointment. 447-7716. 447-7716. And she's in the Forest City office on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and other times by appointment. Lisa Terry, the hearing specialist at Miracle Ear. Well, it's birthday time and anniversary time. If you want to call yours in to us, we're going to be celebrating here in a few minutes and get some the Daylight Donuts from Granny's Bakery. Folks are enjoying those donuts, and you can too if you're celebrating today. Phone lines are clear at 287-3356. Birthdays, anniversaries can be called in to us right now. You've been hearing from the national accusers. Now you can hear from those being accused. No one is reporting their side of the story, and now you can hear the other side directly from them. It's an ongoing series, 8:30 Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can hear members of the Word of Faith Fellowship tell their side of the story. This program will be an ongoing series paid for by Word of Faith Fellowship, and the views expressed on the program are not necessarily the view of the management and staff, but you're invited to listen in. If you have ever had any questions or ever wondered about what's going on, why is it being reported so much by the Associated Press and other sources? Well, this will be a good way to find out from the other side what's being said and done. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8:30. Now this morning, Dr. Bob will be in the Blue Room taking questions about living healthy naturally. All that is straight ahead here on WCAB. That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today. While they're fresh, they're good, they're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Mickey Morgan, a little day late. His birthday was yesterday, but he's celebrating 38 years, and he works at Camp Electric, lives in Rutherford, so we want to wish him a happy, happy birthday. Other folks celebrating today include Dean McFarland of Shiloh. Mitt Rumfeld is 79 up down in Lowbridge. Patty Luckadoo of Spindale is having a birthday. Misty Haynes works at Rutherford Electric is having a birthday. Joyce Harrell and Jamie Anderson all celebrating today. On this 4th day of January, Gail Wilson and Janelle Kemp also celebrating today. So happy birthday to everybody. And those that were called in will be in the drawing for the delicious Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Coming up here in just a moment.
December 2nd, 1995, at Phillips Fine Art Auctioneers in New York, an unusual auction took place. Items auctioned off were a moon rock brought back by Apollo 12, a sliver of Mars from the Zagami meteorite that fell to Earth in 1962 in Nigeria, the Galaxy Opal, the largest opal in the world at 3,749 carats, a complete skeleton of an Ice Age cave bear, and several hundred other items. A desire to own something unique and rare motivates certain people. They like to add it to their list of possessions. When we moved from our rented home in Ohio 20 years ago, our only possessions were our car, furniture, and other personal belongings. I can still remember how I felt when all of our personal belongings were easily packed into our hatchback car and the front 25% of the moving van. That was all we had. Not very impressive. It made my wife and me stop and think about what was important. Our prized possessions were in the car, our 2 children, each other, our wedding album, and a few other keepsakes. A similar situation would be true for most of you if you took time to analyze it. We need to be constantly reminded to devote our energy to that which is most important. Rather than pursuing a rare piece of the action, we need to focus our attention on those things that will outlive us. This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living.
Dean McFarland was the winner of the donuts this morning. He's from Shallow. By random drawing, Dean was the lucky winner. And we'll have a certificate over here for Dean to pick up and take by Granny B's and enjoy those donuts. Now, coming up next hour, 8:35, Dr. Bob will be here to take your questions. And if you want to call your questions in, you feel free to do that even now, and we'll get those to Dr. Bob. And I'm seeing on the old Be Kind To board, we do not have a Be Kind To for Saturday or Monday of next week. Saturday the 6th or Monday the 8th. If you know somebody celebrating a birthday on either of those 2 dates, just call us and we'll flag those and be kind to your friend all day those 2 days.
I saw the harbor lights. They only told me we were parting. The same old harbor lights that once brought you to me. I watched the harbor lights. How could I help if tears were starting? Goodbye to tender nights beside the silvery sea. I love to hold you dear and kiss you just once more. But you were on the ship and I was on the shore. Now I know lonely nights, for all the while my heart is whispering. So other harbor lights will steal your love from me. I love to hold you dear and kiss you just once more. But you were on the ship and I was on the ship.
MCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. The eastern and southern portion of North Carolina were the hardest hit areas of the state with snow totals 2 to 6 inches. In the central part of the state, the Sand Hills hit with about 6 inches of snow. Ryan Ellis is with the National Weather Service in Raleigh.
Whatever's on the road, it's not going to go anywhere. You know, usually around these parts we see the snow, and then by the next day or the afternoon, it's already warmed up and out of here. That's not going to be the case with this. We're expecting to be at or below freezing or very close to freezing for the next couple of days.
Meanwhile, North Carolina Emergency Management Director Mike Sprayberry tells us,
don't have to drive, don't get out there. The governor's already got the adverse weather policy in effect, which allows people to make smart decisions, state employees that is, and if they're not deemed an essential mandatory employee, then they can stay at home if they think that they would be endangered.
Governor Roy Cooper says travel is difficult and dangerous and expect power outages too.
Those frigid temperatures can be dangerous, particularly for people who may lose power during the storm.
Billingsley Harris of Dominion Power in Virginia offers this advice.
Make sure you stay at least 30 feet away from any down power lines and call us to report it as soon as possible.
It's still snowing in northeastern North Carolina, and all of this is being felt up and down the east coast of the United States, including on the beach in Cape May, New Jersey, as we hear from CBS's Tony Dokapil, who tells us there is no telling when ferry service will be restored from the Delaware Bay.
About 150 feet out there in Delaware Bay, it is actually frozen over. You can walk on it. That is how thick the ice is.
Also, some flights are being affected by the storm up and down the east coast of the United States. Officials are saying to check with your carrier. You're listening to NCN News.
Do you want the latest insider news and information for your favorite college sports team? Subscribe now to the ACC Sports Journal magazines. Our ACC Sports Journal magazines are filled with extensive detail on each team for football, basketball, and recruiting. It's a must-buy for every fan of the Tar Heels, Blue Devils, Wolfpack, Demon Deacons, and the rest of the ACC. Subscribe now and save 40% off the cover price. That's a full year's subscription for just $24. Be sure to subscribe now to receive our 2018 ACC Basketball Recruiting Guide. As a subscriber, you'll get your copy before it hits the newsstands. Ordering is fast and easy too. Just go to accsports.com right now and click on the big yellow subscribe now button. Don't miss out on this offer. Go to accsports.com now and click on the subscribe now button.
A North Carolina woman and her son, who were pepper sprayed during protests at last year's presidential inauguration in Washington, have joined a lawsuit against the District of Columbia Police Department. A lawsuit filed by the American Civil Liberties Union in June was amended Wednesday to add Gwen Freebus Fulton of Greensboro and her son, who was 10, on January 20th, 2016. When is the first day of nursery school a news story? When the student is a member of the royal family of Britain.
Fourth in line to the British throne, Princess Charlotte is set to start nursery school today. The 2-year-old daughter of Prince William and Catherine takes her place at the Wilcox Nursery in a church hall not far from their Kensington Palace home. The royal parents were asked to attend a stay-and-play session to ensure the little princess is settling in on her first day. Wilcox has an all-female staff and emphasizes good manners. She'll be known to her friends and staff as Charlotte Windsor. Larry Miller, CBS News, London.
North Carolina corporate and economic leaders predict jobs and company profits will continue to see steady, diverse growth in 2018, even without landing a Toyota auto factory or Amazon headquarters expected to be announced within months. The forecasts Wednesday were part of an annual forum organized by the North Carolina Chamber and state bankers. Immigration and customs officials may have been getting help from at least one motel chain in the search for immigrants in the U.S. illegally. One state has gone to court to stop it.
I'm Gary Nunn. Motel 6 is being sued by Washington State, charged with illegally providing authorities information on thousands of guests with Latino-sounding names. The practice, according to published reports, also has been going on elsewhere. Motel 6 is said to have handed over names, birth dates, and room numbers to agents trolling for immigrants staying in the U.S. illegally. Top officials of the chain say the practice was being done with...
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB sales department today at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. From Georgia up through Maine, the East Coast is getting hammered by the most ferocious storm of the winter so far. That's a snowplow in New York City, where there's no school today. The same for schools up and down the Atlantic coast.
I'm Steve Osensami in Savannah, Georgia. Schools are closed here, so are government offices, and not just Savannah, Charleston, cities in South Georgia. all are shut down because of the ice and snow. Airports are closed. Here in Savannah, the airport is expected to open today, but there are many travelers trying to get to the Northeast who will still be stuck because of the weather now moving there.
Here in Virginia, the good news is that we're not seeing too many cars passing by here, so people are heeding those warnings. They're staying indoors. But really what comes next after this is that bitter cold, that deep freeze that people have to deal with. You know, the power company has been trying to be out here restoring the power to all of the homes and businesses, but they're having a hard time because of those very intense winds.
ABC's Gio Benitez in Norfolk, where thousands are without power this morning. Parts of Maine could see up to 1.5 feet of snow before it's all over. Lawyers on behalf of President Trump have sent a letter to former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon demanding that he stop making those not-so-flattering comments against the president and his family.
An attorney for President Trump, Charles Harder, said in a statement that legal notice was issued Wednesday to Steve Bannon that said the former chief strategist breached a confidentiality agreement, and his communications with author Michael Wolff, quote, give rise to numerous legal claims, including defamation by libel and slander. During the campaign, then-candidate Trump had all staff sign a non-disclosure agreement, which required them to refrain from any disparaging comments against the candidate, his family, or the Trump campaign and organization.
That's ABC's Karen Travers at the White House. Bannon says he still supports the president. Today, President Trump has a series of meetings, including one with Republican senators, to discuss immigration. You're listening to ABC News.
When was the last time you said, I love? No, really. When was the last time you said, I love my pillow? We think we know why this is so difficult. Because your pillow sucks. That's right, as soon as you lay on it, it needs to be scrunched and adjusted, which some pitchman convinced you is a good thing. And in the middle of the night, it starts all over again. I Love My Pillow is not a cheap infomercial pillow. In fact, for the last 10 years, I Love My Pillow has only been available in the finest bedding shops. The secret to I Love My Pillow is in our proprietary homemade foam. I guarantee you'll be saying, I love my pillow. Go to ilovemypillow.com to get sized for your custom-made pillow, handcrafted in the heart of America. I guarantee this pillow won't suck or your money back.
Order now and get a free travel pillow. Just put promo code LOVE. That's promo code LOVE at ilovemypillow.com.
After recounts and court fights, Virginia has decided who wins a state delegate race because Virginia has decided to choose a name out of a hat.
Democrat Shelley Simons thought she had won Virginia's House race by 1 vote. Then the counters found another ballot for Republican delegate David Yancey. After a court fight, the state will randomly draw one name from a container to determine who wins and breaks an exact vote tie. A chance pick to choose the winner and disprove the claim that one vote doesn't matter. Andy Field, ABC News.
Yancey, the incumbent, is indicating he could push for a second recount if things don't go his way. Last night's tweet from a Texas police chief summed it up perfectly. The girls are safe.
The search for 14-year-old Lily Griffith and her 7-year-old sister Lulu began on Sunday after their mother was found dead in the family's home north of Austin. Police Chief Alan Banks issued an Amber Alert and went to work.
It wasn't if the girls came home. It has always been when the girls came home.
Late Wednesday, a tip led police in southeastern Colorado to the car driven by 44-year-old Terry Miles, the roommate of the girl's mother. He is in custody. The two sisters are unhurt. And for friends and family back here in Texas, this was the best possible outcome.
There's people here that love them and care for them.
Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Airbnb has permanently banned a man who threw a huge New Year's party at a rental house in suburban Cleveland. 250 people crammed inside. The guy says things just spiraled out of control. This is ABC News.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? I'm Jim O'Connor, independent life insurance agent specializing in term life insurance. There's been a price war between the major life insurance companies. If you've had your term life policy more than 2 years, you may be paying too much. The life insurance industry is going through exciting changes. Make sure you're not paying too much for your term insurance. For new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote. 800-799-0903, 800-799-0903, or visit my website at term22.com.
Some of us had some snow. Now that snow is moving out and the cold air, well, it's here to stay for quite some time. We'll have plenty of sunshine today. It's a breezy day with high temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s. The wind chill index likely staying in the teens today. Overnight tonight, clear skies and frigid. Low temperatures down into the lower teens with the wind chill index near 0. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
We've had a spike in our temperature gauge. It jumped from 19 to 22. Warming up to 30 before it's all over with. They wind chill about 5 degrees, with the wind gusting to about 22 miles per hour. It's going to be that way pretty much all this rest of this week. A little crazy something coming in here Sunday night. A slight chance of freezing rain and mixture with some freezing rain and snow perhaps. It's going to be a little iffy right now. We'll see what's going to develop from that. But there's snow all around us. If you want to see snow, go to Florida. Go to Charleston. Go to Savannah. Go to out toward the East Coast, Carolina Beach. Those, if you want to see snow, you can go out there. Or maybe Asheville. But right here in the heart of the thermal belt, we're smooth sailing with cold temperatures. 22 right now. Thank you very much. Congratulations to Dean McFarland of Shiloh. He won the Daylight Donuts this morning from Granny B's. And we're being kind to Mickey Morgan of Rutherfordton, turned 38 yesterday. He works at Camp Electric, so we want to wish him a happy birthday as well. A lot to pack in this hour, a lot to talk about. Plus, Dr. Bob's in at 8:35 taking questions on your health. If you have one, you could call that into us early. We'll put them in the order that they come in. Call Todd now at 287-3356. And we'll take your questions as they come, and Dr. Bob will address those from a natural health kind of way. 6 minutes now past 8 o'clock. News coming up here in just a moment.
You do a lot. At Northland, we do internet. You do sports. We do internet that makes games easy to stream. You do movies. We do internet that gives you a world of choices. You do family. We do internet that sounds like the real thing. And now you can get speeds up to 100 megs with internet packages starting at $29.99 a month. Call 888-NORTHLAND or visit getnorthland.com today. All rates and tax and fees not available in all areas. Additional restrictions and conditions apply. Actual speeds may vary. See getnorthland.com/offers for full details.
Have you heard the 3 big lies about Medicaid eligibility? First, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your house. That's not true. Second, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. That's not true. And third, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. That's not true. Please call attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Kent Baldwin, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm for a free consultation and learn the truth about Medicaid and eligibility and nursing home care in North Carolina. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify and not lose everything you own. Call the Arledge Law Firm today at 287-3338, located on East Court Street in Rutherfordton. Again, that's 287-3338. You know, my friends over at Lifestyle Wellness and Spa, Mickey and his team, they've got the largest and longest standing gym in Rutherford County, and they are celebrating 30-year anniversary. That's right. You can join this popular facility right now for 30 cents. Yeah, 30 cents. There's 3 membership options, no hassle cancellations, no hidden fees, and a 30-year reputation behind the success of Lifestyle Wellness and Spa. Join today for 30 cents and have access to group fitness classes, 72-foot pool, a jacuzzi and spa, 2 cardio rooms, racquetball courts, women's only area, spa and massage, and the latest quality equipment you could possibly want. Come celebrate the 30 years and join for 30 cents at Lifestyle Wellness and Spa, 247 Oak Street, Extension, Forty City, family owned since 1988. It's a good deal, good plan. Now let's look at some stories from here and there. The Daily Courier is reporting about 2 vehicles crashing on US 74A Tuesday night. No one was transported to the hospital, however, but a 2-vehicle crash significantly damaged the vehicles involved. It happened about 8:30 p.m. According to the Forest City Police Department, Brittany Michelle Perez of Elmore Street in Spindale was driving a 1997 Chevrolet West near Daniel Road. She told police she had a green light, but noticed a vehicle coming coming toward her, but was not stopping. According to the report, Linda Ann Granger of Good Road in Mooresboro was driving a 2001 Toyota and struck the Chevrolet driven by Perez. Granger said she ran the red light. Police said she was disoriented and treated on the scene by EMS. Damage to the vehicles, $4,000 each, but no one was taken to the hospital, which is a good thing. Rutherford County taxes are due Friday. If you've not yet paid them, you got until tomorrow to pay them. Yep, bills were officially issued in July and were due September the 1st, 2017, but you have until January the 6th to pay them, or you'll incur a 2% interest charge. Get those over to the county. They need the money. And a good story about Rutherfordton woman left paralyzed from the waist down by a two-car collision returned to work Tuesday. Teresa Judd, 31-year-old single mother of two, works as a personal assistant at the new Everest textile plant in Florida City. She said at this point she'd prefer to stay busy. She's going in and working in spite of the fact that she is paralyzed from the waist down from that accident. Good for her. Not going to let that keep her down. I admire her for that. Rutherford County Sheriff's Office is requesting the public's assistance in locating a missing person. Robert Leo Biggs, known to family and friends as Bob and Bobby, has been missing since December 27, 2016. Biggs was last seen on the main street in Chimney Rock Village. He was driving a burgundy 2000 Subaru Outback wagon. Biggs is a 50-year-old white male who's 5 feet 8 inches tall. He has short gray hair and blue eyes. He was last seen wearing blue jeans, a burgundy sweatshirt, and a baseball cap. Biggs also has a tattoo on his left leg of a dive helmet. Over the last year, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has followed up on several leads and organized searches in the hope of determining the whereabouts of Biggs. Despite these efforts, investigators have not been able to locate Robert Lee Biggs. Biggs is a United States Navy veteran, skilled outdoorsman, son, and father. The investigation rigor deeming his appearances remains alive with the hope of returning and reuniting with his family. Anyone with any information, contact Detective Adrian Wallace at 287-6069. 287-6069 if you know anything about Robert Leo Biggs, Bobby's whereabouts. Only 2 days into the new year, a young man was killed in a single car crash over in Cleveland County. Hank Fender, 24, was traveling east on Oak Grove Road around 6:30 when his Ford Mustang veered off the road, hit a ditch, and then hit a tree. According to First Sergeant Joshua Dowdle with the Highway Patrol, he was transported from the scene to Caramont Regional Medical Center in Gastonia, where he died from his injuries. Troopers believed Fender was traveling at more than 70 miles per hour on a 45 mile per hour road. In 2017, there were 6 fatalities in Cleveland County roads, down from 20 in 2016. Fender graduated from Kings Mountain High School and attended Cleveland County Community College. So, sad note there from the first death from an accident this year in Cleveland County. Well, everybody's been watching the storms and seeing where it's been snowing everywhere but here. Winter storm forecast to dump snow from Florida to the Carolinas. That's parts of those regions rarely ever see the snow, and some folks are old enough they've never seen snow in that capacity. But the National Weather Service said a wintry mix of snow and freezing rain was expected along the Atlantic seaboard from Florida to North Carolina yesterday. It warned that icy roads and low visibility could make driving treacherous across the region. In Savannah, a coastal city that hasn't seen measurable snowfall since 2010, up to 2 inches of snow and sleet were forecast. As city officials filled dump trucks with sand to spread on major streets, Mayor Eddie Deloche urged citizens to stay home and keep off the roads. Georgia Governor Nathan Deal declared a state of emergency through Friday tomorrow for 28 counties because of the frigid weather. So it's been pretty tough for those folks over there. Atlanta hospitals were seeing a surge in emergency room visits for hypothermia and other ailments as temperatures plunged well below freezing. The temperature in Atlanta fell to 13 degrees before dawn Tuesday morning. Warning shelters were opened across the South as freeze watches and warnings blanketed the region, including hard freeze warnings for much of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. So it's a crazy, crazy weather. Someone said, Todd mentioned a while ago, he read somewhere with Donald Trump's been in the office a year already. He's already abolished the global warming, taking it away. Well, a South Carolina baby was born on I-26 as the rush to the hospital turned into a police chase. Did you hear about this? One little girl has a birthday for the books. Her parents said the whole experience seemed like a scene out of a movie, but little Anastasia came into the world in a whirlwind. Her parents live in St. George, but plan to deliver the baby at MUSC in downtown Charleston. The baby decided to come about 3 weeks early, so her parents hit the gas on the interstate to speed up the hour-long drive to the hospital. The baby's mother, Tiffany Von Glahn, says he was going about 90 to 95 and a police officer came up behind us to pull us over. And he was like, "Do you want me to stop?" And I was like, "No, don't you stop, because I feel her coming. She's coming now. Don't stop. Keep going." Well, baby Anastasia's parents were worried about not making it to the hospital in time because there was a chance of complications with the delivery. Von Glahn says, "I was told she was a high-risk pregnancy. The way she was sitting at the time, she wouldn't have gotten stuck, and I would have had to have a C-section. So I was thinking there was no way I could do that, to have her naturally. Because the car was not pulling over for law enforcement, they switched gears thinking it was a car chase." Von Glahn said, "I look back and there's like 20 police cars. They had the exits blocked off and everything. Eventually, it got to where they had us boxed in, and we had to stop. They stopped the car in the middle of the interstate. The cops sprang into action. They ended up putting him into handcuffs just for safety reasons, because they were saying there are people out there that will fake having a pregnant wife. But baby Anastasia couldn't wait any longer. With the help of the police, she was born right there in the center of the interstate. The baby's father, Carl Alwine, says, "I'm sitting there watching her born on the hood of the car, and fireworks going off in the background because it's New Year's Eve. And then they let me out of the handcuffs, and the cops started clapping and congratulating us." The parents say once law enforcement realized what was happening, they handled it flawlessly. Alwine says it happened so fast, and the guy that delivered us was just there. Still hard to believe how Anastasia was born into the world. Her parents say the first hour of 2018 had enough excitement to last the rest of their life. Alwine says when you're going to the hospital to have a kid, you imagine high speeds, cops around you, but yeah, that happened. So there you go. The baby was born after a police chase. They had him pinned in, and he had to stop, and then they delivered the baby. Put the dad in handcuffs, then they delivered the baby. Meanwhile, up in Hendersonville, a part of a building collapsed after a car crashed into a doctor's office in Hendersonville over there near Pardee Hospital. This story doesn't mention who the doctor was, whose office he was, but Major Frank Stout, with the Henderson County Sheriff's Office, said it happened Wednesday morning on Fleming Street near Pardee. Officials say a doctor and patient were inside at the time of the crash. Both suffered minor injuries and are expected to be okay. The driver went to the hospital to be checked out. Channel 7 News is told the driver has been charged with reckless driving. You think? Reckless driving? Left the highway and ran into the doctor's office? 19 past 8, the Sheriff's Report with the Sheriff, coming up here in just a moment. Rutherford Regional Health System now features its walk-in services at Forest City Family Care at 212 Allendale Drive, Forest City, just behind the Tri-City Mall. Those needing walk-in care enjoy the same great services, but now at the new location. They continue to operate Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. The scope of services remain unchanged for the walk-in patients. When you don't have an appointment but need to be seen quickly, we hope you'll choose the walk-in services now located at the rear entrance of Forest City Family Care.
This is Pam with the Home Medical Department at Smith's Drugs of Forest City. We carry several products for CPAP therapy that includes wipes, distilled gallons of water, a CPAP hose cleaning tool, a CPAP pillow, and of course the regular supplies of masks, filters, and other maintenance products. Come in or call us for any of your CPAP needs. Thank you and have a happy new year from all of us at Smith's Drugs of Forest City, 139 East Main Street, 245-4591.
Thanks, Pam. You know, if you're buying groceries and realize this year you're going to be more cautious about your budget, be more cautious about your spending, then you need to head toward Jay's Discount Grocery, buy your groceries, and save money each and every time you shop there. Shop Jay's Discount Grocery located on Oak Street, Forest City, and you'll see at the end of the month and end of the quarter, or ever how you balance your books, you'll see that you've saved a lot of money on grocery shopping. Every item on every shelf, on every aisle, every day is discounted. That's Jay's Discount Grocery, Oak Street, Forest City, over behind the hospice resale shop, right next door to Duffy's Cop here. Visit Jay's Discount Grocery today. They're open today until 7 o'clock tonight. 8 to 8 on Fridays and Saturdays. Jay's Discount Grocery. Visit with them today. Sheriff Chris Francis was on with us earlier. He gave us a report from the past 24 hours. We recorded it for broadcast at this time. And now here he is, Sheriff Chris.
Jim, in the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office responded to 158 calls for service. There have been 13 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 180. Among those arrests, Christine Elizabeth Sis, 30-year-old white female of Elmborough, was charged with failure to appear and received a $500 secure bond. Arius Demetrius Lamprolis, 32-year-old white male, was charged with trafficking, looks like also maintaining a dwelling place for controlled substances and drug paraphernalia, and received a $15,000 secure bond. William Andrew Lynch, 49-year-old white male of Rutherford, was charged with assault on a female in probation violation, received a $5,000 bond for the probation violation, and see a district court judge for the assault on a female. Jason Harold Miller, 18-year-old white male of Spindale, was charged with larceny by employee, received a written promise to appear. Estella Maria Elias, 34-year-old white female of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear and received a $2,000 secure bond. Joseph Philip Duncan, 28-year-old white male of Mooresboro, was charged with possession of stolen property and received a $1,000 secure bond. Victoria Alexis Lynch, 16-year-old white female of Ruston, was charged with interfering with the electronic monitor, received a $5,000 secure bond. Among the incidents, we had a breaking and entering vehicle in larceny on Boston Sunshine Highway. It was a gray clutch purse. It did have $40 worth of gift cards, driver's license, credit card, and I believe a few dollars in U.S. currency that were taken in that instant. We also had a misdemeanor larceny on Bob Harden Road in Ruston. Someone has taken the victim's mail, including a CD and a baby monitor that received in packages through the mail. Jim, that's what we had to report today.
Thank you very much, Sheriff Chris Francis. Well, this is a heads up for all of us. When we want to warm our cars up in the mornings or whenever we're leaving the car's real cold, you want to warm it up and leave it. Well, a woman's car got stolen at gunpoint while warming it up there in Spartanburg. Said 3 men stole her car at gunpoint as she was warming up the vehicle. It happened December 27th, around 7 p.m. at the Crescent Hill Apartments. The woman said she had the car warming up outside while she was loading items into the car. She said 3 men had been walking back and forth in that area. One of the men came to her door pointing a small black handgun at her and asked for money. She said the other 2 men got into the car and left. The men were described as being around 6 feet 2 inches tall. One was wearing a black coat, another red coat, and the third was wearing a gray coat. Her vehicle was a 2000 white Dodge Magnum, according to the report. So they're advising you, if you warm your car up, stay with it, or at least don't leave it unattended, because those are actually excellent marks for somebody wanting to drive away with your car. Sports Update is next, and then Dr. Bob is
in the sunset, way out on the sea. Oh, carry my loved one home safely to me.
And
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. A full slate of college hoops last night, and North Carolina programs were on the courts all over. The results of the local favorites in the Power 5, not so favorable. Number 24, Florida State held off 12th-ranked North Carolina 81-80. The Seminoles were up 81-77 before Joe Berry II made a three-pointer off a turnover to bring the Heels within one with 30 seconds to go. The Heels then had a chance for the win. Berry drove the lane and missed a jumper. He led the Tar Heels with 28 points and shouldered the loss based on his missed shot late.
It's my fault because I had got to the rim a couple previous times before that. Cameron was wide open on the wing, and I should have just hit him for it. We probably could have got a better shot with him or a more high percentage shot. He's a great three-point shooter. I went up to it, and I told him it's my fault, and I told the guys it was my fault. I should have kicked it out.
Other action last night, Notre Dame had 4 players in double figures in an 88-58 shredding of NC State. Alston Jones had 4 free throws in the final 61 seconds for NC Central. They beat Delaware 65-62 in their MEAC opener. Brian Crawford scored 19 points to help Wake Forest beat Syracuse 73-67. ECU, they got onto the winning end. They beat South Florida last night 67-65, a big road win. Head coach Mike Perry after the game.
2 losses in a row. Sometimes people say that's not a time to think about panicking, but these guys work so hard and they want to see results. And I was really pleased, though, in the practices after the loss. And that's always important as a coach. After a tough loss, you want to see what type of practices you have. And our guys really responded to the message of new year, new start, being together, and then letting it reflect on the floor that you're together.
Rounding out the scores in North Carolina, High Point beat UNC Asheville 84-74. Davidson rallied to beat St. Louis 54-51, and Gardner-Webb slipped past Campbell in overtime 82-80. This is NCN Sports.
Break away from the everyday to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
In less than 30 seconds, I know I can make you hungry. Ready? Here we go. Chicken breast, chicken wing, drumstick, pulled pork barbecue, potato salad, coleslaw, sweet iced tea. I don't know about you, but I'm starving. Where am I going? I'm headed to Smithfield's.
Break away from the everyday to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
Discover Rio's best-kept secret, the wine cellar. This Vegas hidden gem showcases over 10,000 wine bottles from around the world. Chippendales is the ultimate Las Vegas girls' night out, nightly at the Rio, 8:30 and 10:30. Dine, dance, and drink 51 stories above Sin City at Voodoo Rooftop Nightclub. Flair bartenders keep the party going. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
The Carolina Panthers have more playoff experience than any team in the NFC, with 187 cumulative games between them. Cam Newton yesterday asked about that experience and if it will provide an edge.
When it comes down to it, you still have to play football. Do I think the experience helped? Yes. But it's still certain things, having smart players, having players that conscientious of, the situation that's at hand. I think that's important too.
Cam Newton also talked about the word on the street that he might be limited in running the ball himself. He quashed that quickly.
That's my edge. I'm comfortable running the football. I feel like I help the team when I'm running the football. And as long as I'm playing this game, I will run the football.
Buffalo Bills running back LaShawn McCoy missed practice Wednesday because of a right ankle injury as the team prepares for its first playoff game in 18 years. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Rutherford Regional Health System now features its walk-in services at Forest City Family Care at 212 Allendale Drive, Forest City, just behind the Tri-City Mall. Those needing walk-in care enjoy the same great services, but now at the new location. They continue to operate Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. The scope of services remain unchanged for the walk-in patients. When you don't have an appointment but need to be seen quickly, we hope you'll choose the walk-in services now located at the rear entrance of Forest City Family Care.
Some of us had some snow. Now that snow is moving out and the cold air, well, it's here to stay for quite some time. We'll have plenty of sunshine today. It's a breezy day with high temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s. The wind chill index likely staying in the teens today. Overnight tonight, clear skies and frigid. Low temperatures down into the lower teens with the wind chill index near 0. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
We're still at 22 degrees currently here on our thermometer. According to Peter, the meter reader, 22. We're expecting to climb up to about 30 with wind chill values low as 5. Then tonight back down to 11 for the overnight low, with a wind chill value as low as 4. Yes, I did say 4. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny, highs around 31. Looking toward next week, looks like maybe about Tuesday or Wednesday, we may be warming up a little bit. Partly cloudy with scattered showers Tuesday with highs around 48. A chance of precipitation about 40%. And then on Wednesday, partly cloudy, highs around 49 with the northwest wind to 6 miles per hour. So it looks like it's going to be warming up a little bit nicely. And it's going to be a cold weekend with mostly, the only chance looks like on Sunday night we may get some freezing rain. Sunday night and Monday, some freezing rain possibilities. We'll see how that works. It may possibly could turn into some snow, but right now it's calling for freezing rain. We don't need that, do we? I'd rather have the snow than the freezing rain, but then we have no control over that. We just sort of go with the flow. Folks out east of us and south of us are getting all the snow, and some west of us they're getting some, but we're getting cold, breezy weather. And it's 8:31 here this morning. The following program, Dr. Bob's Grocery Store Medicine and Healthy Life Anecdotes, is paid for by Dr. Bob Crummy. The opinions expressed on this program by Dr. Crummy are not necessarily those of the owner and staff of WCAB. You are invited to call your questions in live now to Dr. Bob at 287-3356. And now live in the studio, here is Dr. Bob Crummy. Good morning, Dr. Bob.
Good morning, Jim Bishop. It's great to be with you again in the beautiful, warm Blue Room at WCAB.
Nice to have this warmth, isn't it?
It sure is.
Yeah, thank the Lord for heat.
Yes.
The phone lines are open. Let me remind folks they can call Dr. Bob, and if you have a question you want to ask, and we'll put that question right to him. We take them to him in the order that they're called in, and the phone lines are cleared for that, 287-3356. If you want to ask Dr. Bob a question, he's the author of the book, Dr. Bob's Grocery Store Medicine and Healthy Life Anecdotes, and an authority on natural health medicines and supplements and things like that. And he's always happy to answer your question. Dr. Bob, we got a question already called in this morning. If you're ready to go with it.
I'm ready to go, and I enjoy being an expert. I enjoy learning to be an expert, and it's amazing how I learn a little bit more each day that I didn't know the day before.
That's a good thing.
And I'm learning it from individuals, not from the medical school or from pharmacy or whatever.
Well, I talked with a gentleman the other day. He came by, a nice gentleman, one of our listeners lives over in Polk County. He came by and he said he's been a fan for a while. He takes aloe vera juice every day and a lot of the other supplements that he's getting and using. So he's real pleased with what he's learned from the program.
Mm-hmm. Well, good.
This question here, how much vitamin C can you take per day?
Well, there's a very famous man named Linus Pauling. He was a PhD biochemist. And Linus Pauling, believe it or not, he was born in 1900 and died in 1999. Lived 99 years. Now, he did some research with physicians that proved that vitamin C cured cancer. They had something like 440 patients in their study, and 95% of them were cured with vitamin C. And he dogmatically stated, and I mentioned that he won 2 Nobel Prizes. He dogmatically stated that 1,000 milligrams per day cured cancer. In fact, now that I'm saying that, I think maybe he said 10,000 milligrams a day will cure cancer. He recommended over the age of 50 that you take at least 1,000 milligrams a day of vitamin C. And he got a lot of criticism. A lot of doctors became relatively famous by criticizing Linus Pauling. And they said to Linus Pauling, have you done double-blind studies? And Linus Pauling said, I don't need to do double-blind studies. I'm a biochemist. And the interesting study, the study was done by him and a physician at the University of Virginia, I think, and with only these 400 and some patients. And when it showed how vitamin C outperformed everything by curing cancer, somehow the pharmaceutical firms had that study kind of squelched. They stopped doing the study. I assume they just hired the people who were doing the research and paid them more money and moved them and so forth. But you didn't hear about it after that. But the interesting thing is it had already been printed somewhere, you know, and they kind of kept it down. But there's no doubt that vitamin C is something we need. And I tell you something else, vitamin B complex is something we need. So if you can find a vitamin tablet that's vitamin B complex and vitamin C, make sure you get that and take it, because so many ailments that human beings have are simply caused by deficiencies in vitamins. And when something has a name, vitamin something, it's because we can't make it inside. You know, we don't make it, we have to take it into our system. Vitamin C is one of those things that we have to take into our system. And the vitamin B complexes are too. And so, and what I've discovered about myself as I age, and this is that if I take a good multivitamin, I feel better. You know, now, if I stop taking it, it takes me a week to start feeling lethargic and tired and realize, hey, I'm going to bed earlier, I get tired during the day and this kind of thing. But I think it's really important. And another thing that's very, very important is exercise. And it's interesting because I have a mesomorphic body build, or at least I used to, kind of muscular body build. And as I've aged, it's turned more into an endomorphic body build, kind of pleasantly plump. But I get joint problems, and I associate that with being an athlete and doing things earlier and so forth. But the thing that has shocked me is it's hard for me to walk upstairs sometimes and things like that. However, I started taking chair yoga. And just 2 classes a week of chair yoga, I don't hurt anymore. You know, the joints. Now, when I say I don't hurt anymore, if I miss a couple of classes, the pains start coming back. And it's interesting because I have more pain for some reason in my right shoulder than anywhere else. For instance, this morning I don't have a coat on. Well, I don't have a coat on because I couldn't put it on. You know, it hurt my right arm too much to do it. So I just am going without my coat today, but I make sure I get into different places quicker. But the thing, since I mentioned that, listen, it's amazing what exercise, eating nutritiously, not overeating, and a good multivitamin will do. You know, and I would say this: if you're over 50, take at least 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day. Now, a lot of people complain if I take a lot of vitamin C, like 1,000 milligrams, I get a little gastritis. Well, you can prevent that simply by getting vitamin C. You can get it in a powdered form, and you can put it in orange juice. Just a couple of tablespoons of orange juice, shake it up, and, you know, drink a glass or 2 of it a day, and that will give you plenty of vitamin C. In fact, you can take 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day if you do it like that. And they ask you, can I take too much vitamin C? Or what happens? Will it hurt me? The answer is no, it won't hurt you. You'll just urinate it out. You know, your toilet water will have more vitamin C in it than any other in the state. But to really understand the human in a healthy kind of way, one of the best books I've ever read, and I read this about 5 years ago when this started me on my goal or plan to kind of learn more about herbs and things like that. I've forgotten what I was going to say, Jim. Oh, I know what I was going to say now because I haven't. I started off by reading a book, and the book was Cancer Step Outside the Box. And when I first started reading, I thought it was kind of funny, and the guy was cynical and this sort of thing. His name is Ty Bollinger, Bollinger. He lives in San Antonio, Texas. He's a CPA, and he wrote this book, Cancer Step Outside the Box. He did it because his mother and father both died. They had cancer. He said they didn't die from cancer. They died from the treatment for cancer. And he started on a search to find out, hey, how can I help other people? And he contacted individuals who had had cancer, and they had an unusual treatment like vitamins or herbs or things like that, and they had successfully treated it and so forth. And he gives all kinds of programs that you can use to kind of cure anything you get. But the interesting thing to me was this. I read the book, I was so satisfied with it, and then toward the latter part of the book, he made the statement, he said, now I've shared a lot of information with you, and you can do these things, but let me tell you something. If you're not right spiritually, you're still going to have problems curing anything you get. And so he really pushed getting into the spiritual aspect of things, you know. And so I would encourage someone to do that too. Like when I come here on Thursday morning, I've been to O.A. Fish's Bible study class, which is at Lifestyle. Lifestyle, you know, Mickey Waters owns that, and he's a member of the group too. But it's interesting, when I come here, I feel like spiritually I've done some exercises before I get here, and I have a really good feeling walking in and you know, just sharing things with other people. And I would encourage you to do that too. Get right spiritually, and if you're having trouble with it, call O.A. Fish and go to one of his Bible studies. Doesn't cost anything, and it's very enlightening.
A lot of truth to that.
Mm-hmm.
Filling a little void in there with some spirituality.
I know it, and you know what was such a surprise to me is to read Ty Bollinger's book, Cancer Step Outside the Box, and it had so many good things in it, and then all of a sudden he says, wait a minute now, I've told you all this good stuff, but if you don't have things right spiritually, you got to get them right. Or he said that's the most important thing when you get any kind of disorder. He said we have an immune system that God gave us that'll cure anything you have. It's just a matter of keeping that healthy. And he said one way to keep it healthy is to be right spiritually.
Interesting stuff. Next question says, how do you remove warts and skin tags?
With a sharp knife. No, listen, a razor blade. No, you can, believe it or not, this is the easiest way. Get an aspirin and a Band-Aid. Put a drop of water on the aspirin, put it on top of the wart, and just put a Band-Aid over it. And the aspirin actually will eat the wart off. Aspirin has acetylsalicylic acid in it. It's mild, and you can. Now, a lot of people really do. They'll take a razor blade and they'll cut it off because it's actually on the outside of the skin. You know, so but it's so hard to dissect like that. Now, another thing you can do, and this is really easy. Is one reason I love Dr. Brommer's peppermint soap. Is because you can take his peppermint soap and put a drop on it about every hour, or put a drop on it 4 times a day, and I promise you in a week it'll be gone. That Dr. Brommer's peppermint soap just kind of eats the little thing off, and it basically you can take your fingernail and start scratching it, and you know, if you'll put the stuff on every day, what it'll do is it'll just fall off when you're scratching it sometime.
Well, may go back to that vitamin C thing just a few moments. Early question. The vitamin C comes in, you can get it in a liquid or a capsule or a chewable. Does it matter which of those you take?
It does not, whichever you prefer. Now, it also comes in, I said a powdered form, but it's really a crystal form. But it's like crystal like sugar, you know, that kind of crystal-like form. And I think 1 teaspoon is something like 2,500 milligrams. So you could put 4 teaspoons of that in a quart of milk. I mean, a quart of orange juice. Shake it up, and it doesn't change the taste of the orange juice. You know, and you shake it up, and that's 10,000 milligrams of that in that much. If you drink a quart a day now. Most people don't drink a quart a day because you don't have to. But it's really fun to read these things. And here's another thing. People who have experiences like this, they don't push themselves upon you. But there's one guy named Bob Evans, and Bob Evans had terminal cancer. They gave him chemotherapy. They told him he couldn't give him any more. It'd kill him. And he was in a fetal position, and somebody told him he start taking barley powder or barley tablets, and it'll cure it. Sure enough, he immediately started doing that, and within 10 days, most of his cancer was gone. He was feeling so much better. 3 months, it was all gone. And now he gives his telephone number out, and he just tells people, call me up and I'll tell you about it. And I called the guy. Now, one other book book I push is something called Cancer Free, and that's by Bill Henderson. And Bill Henderson, his wife had cancer, and he said she didn't die of cancer, she died of the treatment for cancer. And he was with her. She was diagnosed in 1990, died in 1994, and after her death, he said nobody should have to die like that. And he started studying and doing research, and he actually recommended Bob Evans in his book and told me about him. He also recommended barley pills, and it's interesting because the people at Hallelujah Acres push barley pills too, and George Malcolmus is the guy's name, and I don't know if George suggested Bob Evans is being called about that too, but anyway, that got me started on that, and you can get the barley pills, and they're very inexpensive from some group in Pennsylvania of these Christian farmers who use horses and so forth, and Amish, yeah, the Amish have them, and so they're not polluted at all, and they're fairly priced. And according to this guy Bob Evans, if you do nothing except take barley pills every day, you're going to cure whatever it is you have. And George Malcolmus also says that. Hallelujah Acres. Hallelujah Acres was one of the most impressive things I've ever gone to. I listened to George Malcolmus give 5 talks. Now, he's not giving those anymore. I think he's in his 90s now. But I tell you what, he has the body of a 45-year-old. And I wish he were still giving those talks. But I'm sure you can get up with him. And you can get up with him through the website, H Acres. Just hacres.com, hacres.com, and he also has video cassettes, DVDs, or that he'll send you, that you can buy, that are fantastic. You don't even have to go out, and they're reasonably priced, something like $10 or $20 for one. And also now, they used to be headquartered in Shelby. They still have property in Shelby, but they're now headquarters in Gastonia. So here we are, so close to these two places, and you can go over there, you can buy products from them. They have their own line of products, and you can also get their tapes and videos, and that's very worth doing. Anybody who gets diagnosed with cancer should go over there and talk to them.
He also recommended, he had a container with powder where you mix it with a juice or water and drink that barley.
Yeah.
Barley. He's really high on that.
Yeah. He was. And the most impressive thing about him is when this was about, I guess, 10 years ago, maybe, between 5 and 10 years ago, when I went over to listen to him, the interesting thing about him was he looked so healthy. Yeah. And he had a lot of audience participation. He gave a 3-hour talk from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m., and they actually, you went through a little buffet, and so you ate there, but you also asked him questions and so forth. And usually, I would say his audience was 200 to 400 people, and they came from all over the United States to hear that man talk. And worldwide, if I'm not mistaken, there are 2 million people worldwide on the Hallelujah Acre diet.
Wow. It's a pretty rigid diet. I looked at it.
You're not going to hear very much about it because there's no money in it. The pharmaceutical firms don't especially like the Hallelujah Acres people.
Well, that was the last question we had called in, but I know you always come here with a lot of information for us.
Well,
and we got about 6 minutes left.
Okay. Let me talk about the good things around the house to keep. I've already mentioned Dr. Brommer's peppermint soap. I know you can get it at Ingles, and you can get it at health food stores. Now, it's where the pharmacy department is at Ingles. You have to ask them, where's the peppermint soap or Dr. Brommer's peppermint soap, and you want to get the liquid form of it. Everybody should have that at home. Everybody should have hydrogen peroxide at home. And hydrogen peroxide, if you'll gargle with it every morning and every evening before you go to bed, that's the last thing you do, you won't get sick. Now, that sounds kind of silly, and most people start that program when they get a cold, or get a sore throat, then they'll start it. But if you start it before you get the cold or the sore throat, you won't get the cold or the sore throat. And it's interesting how you can tell someone something like that is so simple. And the hydrogen peroxide costs what? It used to cost about $1 a pint. I think it's gone up a little bit now. But I use half hydrogen peroxide and half water. Now sometimes I use a third hydrogen peroxide and 2/3 water, and just gargle with it, rinse it out. You can even swallow it if you want to. But and the other thing about hydrogen peroxide is you can actually put it in a little spray gun, and you can spray it on lesions that you get on your skin, or you can spray it on a sore throat, and it's very medicinal when you do it like that. Another thing at home, baking soda. For goodness, any kind of, we talk about aloe vera juice. When aloe vera juice is great, you can get that at Walmart for $6.40 a gallon, and that's hard to beat. But baking soda is really hard to beat too, and everybody needs to keep that. You can put that on your skin, on your scalp. You can gargle with it. You can brush your teeth with it. All kinds of healthy things. And the most helpful is any kind of indigestion that you get. A teaspoon of baking soda and a glass of cold water or warm water, and just chug it down. And I get a lot of pleasure out of just talking about it, because after I chug it, I have the most pleasant belch. Yes. And you can't imagine a pleasant belch unless you've never had one. Once you have one, you want to have at least one a day. But let's see.
And the indigestion goes away
immediately. Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah,
the indigestion will go away immediately, pretty much, and I know a lot of people over the holidays we eat a little too much and we drink a little too much, and so most of us get indigestion somehow, some way. And one of the smartest things you can do is just stay home and stay near the bathroom. And have some of these things like the aloe vera juice and baking soda, hydrogen peroxide, those kinds of things if you need them. There are some prescription drugs that I need to warn you about. And the only reason to warn you about these is to say, I'm not knocking them. I'm just telling you that they have a lot of side effects. And you can get some good reading material. And there'll be a section in almost all of them talking about the dangers of prescription drugs. And it categorizes them like sleep, drugs for sleep. You need to look into very closely, and you need to know what the side effects are. And if you have any of them, you need to stop it. And medications are going to do one of three things. They're going to make you feel better, they're going to make you feel worse, or they're going to do nothing. The second group of drugs, prescription drugs to be aware of, are the NSAIDs, the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. And those are ones for pain. There are 26 of them, and you're talking about being great money makers. They are great money makers for the pharmaceutical firms. And all of those have some side effects. You never hear very much about the side effects, but at least know what they are. And then the statin drugs, the drugs that we use for high cholesterol, supposedly also for hypertension, high blood pressure. But the statin drugs, as soon as the companies lose their patents on the statin drugs, I think we're going to probably outlaw the statin drugs, because there are so many side effects with those drugs. The risk outweigh the benefits, and that's the question you have to ask yourself with anything you're taking. Do the risk of taking this drug outweigh the benefits? And it's also, we've talked here about if you have high cholesterol, if you have high blood pressure, you can take fiber tablets. Fiber is very inexpensive. Vegetable fiber or natural fiber is what it's called. And usually it's kind of like Tang, orange juice flavored, a teaspoon of that in a cup of warm water. Drink it 3 times a day, 30 minutes before each meal, and then 2 hours after supper, drink it. And if you do that, it'll lower your blood pressure. It'll lower your cholesterol in a healthy kind of way. Alzheimer's. Our drugs for Alzheimer's aren't worth a hoot. They have side effects of, now what they do is they sedate the patient, and so the nursing homes like that when the physician gives them something, the Alzheimer's patient, to kind of sedate them, because then they just sit there or lay there and sleep all day. And so, they're no trouble to them. But the number one side effect of Alzheimer's drugs is confusion. Isn't that something? And then one thing that the books warn you about, and they won't say too much about this, chemotherapy. Anytime you're on chemotherapy, you've got to know what the side effects are. And the other thing, is interesting enough, is diabetes. The new drugs, there are new drugs for diabetes. The reason for that is there's so many people with diabetes, and that's such a great money market for the pharmaceutical firms, that these new things coming out for diabetes have a lot of side effects, and you need to be aware of all of them, because some of them are death, And then, of course, the other thing that they almost always mention is opioids. And I know the opioids are getting a lot of attention now, but reality is the opioids have been doing that for at least 15 years. And it's been the problem's been just as severe, and we're just putting a spotlight on it now. So I'm going to go over these real quickly. Sleep, NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, statin drugs, blood pressure medication, Alzheimer's, chemotherapy, diabetes, or opioid, the pain medicines, any of those things, just be aware of those and be aware of the possible side effects. And they're always, and just make sure you've got a good multivitamin to take.
We're out of time. Quickly, briefly, because the gentleman that came over here bragging on the program was telling us that he had discovered, I think maybe from your commentary, about, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it, CDG or
CBD.
CBD.
Oh, boy. And listen, marijuana has now, let's call it hemp. Hemp has now been legalized in all 50 states. And it's been legalized by the federal government because they got a patent. One of their agencies got a patent for CBD. And CBD is something that's in hemp, like THC. THC is that part of hemp that gives you the kind of high feeling, or that's great for anxiety, or that people take a little too much for recreation. But the hemp, if it has a high THC, it has a low CBD. If it has a high CBD, it has almost no THC. So that is wonderful. You can get that now at any health food store. It's reasonably priced, and they'll have a brochure that they give to you. They have done studies with comparing this CBD with almost every disorder known to man, and the CBD outperforms everything. All of these things I talk about, like sleep and for the statin drugs and everything, the CBD outperformed them. And you don't have to have a prescription for it. Yeah. And it's wonderful to go and try. And the nice thing about it is, if it doesn't work, they'll refund your money.
Well, it's amazing what he's done, and he was bragging on it. He had read, and he thinks that also it can help eliminate early signs of Alzheimer's.
Oh, yeah, he's correct, yeah. They mentioned that about Alzheimer's and cancer, and when you tell people that, they look at you a little strange, like, oh, that can't be true. But the thing about it, it is true. I mean, try it and see, and sometimes we want cures too quickly, but you're going to get the feeling better on these things within a week. I mean, actually, you'll feel better each day, but it's kind of like more noticeable the second day than it is the first. Then it's more noticeable the third day than it is the second. That kind of thing.
As you say, the proof's in the pudding.
The proof's in the pudding.
Dr. Bob, we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Me too.
We'll join North Carolina News already in progress.
And they need it constantly.
The White House says President Trump is furious and disgusted in response to an about-to-be-released tell-all book by Michael Wolff that contains many insulting comments about Mr. Trump and accuses his son Don Jr. of treason in connection with the interactions with Russians. CBS's Chip Reed is at the White House and tells us CBS has learned that Wolff recorded some of his conversations with White House insiders.
A lot of people here this morning are wondering how in the world this happened under their noses, and Sarah Sanders, the press secretary, has announced that White House staff will no longer be able to use their personal phones in the West Wing.
The new year has its first major computer security issue.
Security experts have found a flaw in computer chips made by Intel and other major companies that could leave just about every device that's out there open to attacks by hackers. Intelligence analyst Alan Liska via Skype says it could affect everything from smartphones to big servers.
Primarily what makes them scary is the fact that they are so pervasive and that they're hardware-based instead of software-based. That makes it harder to take